Hey, what's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. I hope you're having a great day. I am. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Also, today's podcast is presented to you by Superbook Sports Colorado, as well as Blake Street Tavern. Hey, I had something that just blindsided me, like smashed me in the face. Right before I jumped onto this podcast to hit record, I look over to my right, and what do I have? I have this little Wolverine action figure. I stole it from my son. But that's not the point here, okay? But it popped in my head. I was like, Wolverine, that's so awesome. And then I'm like, in the camera. I'm just like pretending like I have claws that pop out. Then I was like, oh my God. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, get him on the phone now. Why? Because I heard that there's going to be in the new Deadpool 3 movie that Hugh Jackman's bringing back the Wolverine character in, that there's supposed to be a bunch of variants of Wolverine. And I'm like, dude, come on, really? You got to have a goofy, like a little podcast Wolverine version. It's like the guy has a superpower. He has regenerative, his body heals itself, regenerative, healing powers or whatever. And then he also has claws, but he's not a superhero. He's a podcaster. Be like, and that's just how he like moves the microphone. Then he's doing the faders on the board. And then he's like typing, writing out his rundown, eating a sandwich, drinking a soda. Doesn't work well. Come on, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman. I'm just saying it would be funny. Like a 5-second clip. I'm your guy. I came up with the idea. Jesus. All I'm asking is I work for sandwiches. Okay. I need an IMDb credit and maybe some gin. I don't know. Do you guys know anybody with a gin company? Huh? Anyway, I'm just saying, throwing it out there. You're welcome, Ryan. I just made you $1 billion. $1 billion idea. The Wolverine podcast variant. Everybody has a podcast nowadays. You're welcome. Anyway, we got headlines coming up here in a second. I've been trying to book Alfred Williams, former Denver Bronco, current radio host on KOA. I used to be his coworker back in the day when he was a host with Scott Hastings, and he is the biggest pain in the ass to try to book to get on a podcast. Because he's just doing other shit, and it's just, if it doesn't work for him right now, good luck. I even threw out at the end. I was like, Al, how about this? I come to your house, we do the podcast in the kitchen, and you make me a sandwich and make me drinks. And he didn't respond to that. Like I had him on the hook. I think I went overboard with the drinks and the sandwiches. Which sounds delightful right now. I am hungry. Never podcast on an empty stomach. But here I am. All right, you know what we need to do? Let's get into some headlines.
Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Daylight savings. The silent killer. Yeah, I know. I hate daylight savings too. And according to some studies, at least one study presented at the American College of Cardiology's 63rd Annual Scientific Session found a 24% increase in heart attacks the Monday after daylight savings time started. They also have heart rhythm disorders, and stroke also tend to increase. It's because of lack of sleep. It fucks up your sleep, obviously. During non-REM sleep, your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure comes down, and the body relaxes. And when you miss out on that extra hour, it can have a huge impact on your blood pressure, your stress, and your heart rate. So what the fuck? Can we get rid of daylight savings? Now, here's the thing. There's a Sunshine Protection Act. It hasn't been signed yet, but the Sunshine Protection Act that the Senate passed in March of 2022, it hasn't made it to the U.S. House for discussion, but it would just require the House passage and President Biden's signature to become law. Now, if that bill were to pass within this next year, as it's written, permanent daylight savings time would take effect on November 5th of this year, 2023. Do you want this to happen? I do, because I can't fucking stand it. It irritates the shit out of me. It's always like the next few days after daylight savings, we're all fucked up. Everybody's either groggy because they haven't got enough sleep. Kids are just extra, irritable. When the kids are really young, it sucks because if you get them on like this solid, steady schedule, they wake up at a certain time, then you throw in daylight savings time, and now they're all whacked out, whether they want to keep sleeping before school or they get up too early. My daughter's an early bird. She already wakes up around 5:45 or 6. Now you throw in daylight savings time, certain times of the year, then she'll start waking up at 4:45 or 5. It's freaking frustrating. So I hope that this eventually gets signed. I hear that it's really teetering on them signing it, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. If I had the hard numbers, I haven't been able to find the hard numbers of like, why would we want to keep daylight savings? Because here's the other thing. If the reason why it was started was to help save on energy and a whole bunch of other things and keep children safe, because at certain times of the year they were starting school and it was still dark out and kids were getting hit by dumbass drivers in school zones and shit like that. There's a whole bunch of reasons. But I haven't seen the hard numbers officially saying that that's exactly what they want to do in why we should keep it or why we should change it. So we'll see. We'll see. By the way, I will say this about school zones. Fucking horrible drivers in school zones. You guys if you live in the neighborhood and you hate that there's a school zone and you just feel like to relieve your anger is to hammer the gas, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know how many times in the school zones I hear people just hammer the gas and fly through a crosswalk. I have seen kids almost get hit. I saw a mom almost get hit. I've almost been hit. That's like just this school year. So maybe we do need daylight savings, because if it is dark out when kids are going to school, people are going to get fucking run over because of these dumb fucks. Anyway, it just bugs me. So I don't know. You let me know. DeHuffUncensored@gmail.com or hit me up on socials at DeHuff Podcast. Do you want daylight savings to stick around, or do you just want to get rid of it and we just stay the course? Like, what is it? I know Arizona does it. Maybe Hawaii does it too. But it's frustrating. I think we need to get rid of it. But as soon as we get rid of it, people are going to be bitching for it to come back. Not everybody, but enough people will be like, oh, come on, come back. We don't really need to get rid of it. Be like, what are you, fucking Antichrist? Get out of here, you sick son of a bitch. I need my sleep. Quit fucking with my sleep. World Wrestling Entertainment, otherwise known as WWE, is reportedly having discussions with the gambling regulators in Colorado and Michigan to legalize betting on the company's high-profile scripted matches. That's according to CNBC. So, do you think it makes sense to gamble and allow gambling on something that is predetermined? It's like gambling on a movie. What's going to happen in the new Deadpool 3 movie when it comes out? Is there going to be a Wolverine podcaster variant played by Scott DeHuff? You could bet on that. Probably not a good bet. Probably not going to win. But I just don't understand. So the only way that would work is if, let's say there's two wrestlers involved in the ring. They would have to know the outcome. And then like one other person, you got to keep the number low and you're under strict orders not to let anybody else know. I just don't know how really this makes sense. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm sure if you're a WWE supporter, don't you feel like that it could just be swayed so easily. I just think that this has scummy written all over it. I don't know. This is kind of an interesting thing. Would you go on a 3-year world cruise? That's what a company is offering. They're calling it like their ultimate bucket list world cruise of the world trip. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. It's $90,000 total for one person. If you had the money, let's pretend you had the money for a second. Would you do that? Well, here's what comes in it. You can cover over 130,000 miles across 7 continents and 135 countries. You get an opportunity to check out 375 destinations, over 100 tropical islands, and countless hills to climb along 6 equator crossings. It's the ultimate bucket list thing, I guess. If you could do it, you'd be seeing so many things. And they're offering via Starlink. They have Wi-Fi, and apparently Starlink Wi-Fi is pretty freaking good. And so you could work from quote unquote home for 3 years while you're cruising the world. If you could afford it, would you do it? I think it would be great if it was just yourself or your significant other. It would be kind of a neat thing to share. If you had a family, I wouldn't do it. Although it would be neat for the kids to experience the world. I mean, how fucking great would that be? I mean, I guess ultimately it does come down to the money. Would you want to do it if you could afford it? If you can't afford it, obviously it's off the list. But I sit there and think about it, and the more I think about it, the more I'd be like, shit, it'd be cool. But that being said, I hate open water. Open water freaks the shit out of me. I can't stand it. Especially ever since I capsized in Australia on that kayak in the middle of that bay, where later I find out that there's always sharks in there. And I was stuck in the water for, what was it, like 10 minutes or something like that. Felt like an hour or two, but it wasn't that long. That was horrific. And I just thank God that nothing touched me. But I just can't imagine being on a boat that long. It would be hard. Now, obviously, you have 375 destinations, over 100 tropical islands. What an experience. I think if all of a sudden they're like, if this company comes to me and like, Scott, we want you to do your podcast with your family for 3 years. You don't have to pay anything. Just you get to experience it. Just make sure you podcast about it and do your normal stuff. Be like, okay, I'll do it. I would do it because I'm a cheap bastard and be like, it's a free fucking trip. And I can work from anywhere in the world. And my wife technically can too, as long as she has a good internet connection. So it would be interesting. I would consider it if I could afford it, but it's just $90,000 per person. That's a lot of fucking money. You got more coming up, including, I don't want to talk about it. That's coming up next, but make 2023 the year you beat Vegas. Superbook Sports gives you the chance every week to go head-to-head with the best odds makers in Las Vegas. There's no fancy computer algorithms, no guys across the pond setting lines for American sports. Just the best teams of odds makers in the business behind the counter at Superbook in Las Vegas. Plus, Superbook features some of the best odds boosts and promo bets anywhere. So go ahead, download the Superbook Sports Colorado app right now, or visit superbook.com and start your battle against Vegas right now. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. If you got a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700. Oh, I forgot to add that there's a bunch of tax benefits on that if you were out at sea. So they said making money at sea has never been easier. And with the tax benefits of international residents, you may keep more of what you earn. So that's another thing to add to that story. So there's always these weird ways that companies are trying to reinvent themselves. And a very popular thing to do now is make seltzer, hard seltzer. Sunny D. You remember the Sunny D, the orange juice? I think it's technically orange juice. I don't know how much orange is actually in it. The color's orange. Anyway, they got a Sunny D vodka seltzer. And according to blind taste tests, people picked it out, according to Sunny D, that people kept picking it out and saying, above all, this by far was the best seltzer out there. Now, they're obviously skewing it and promoting it as, from their side. But would you try that? I kind of want to try it. I'm not a huge fan of the hard seltzers. They just get kind of old quick, and a lot of them don't have a good flavor. If I'm going to drink something like this, it better have a strong flavor and not just watered down. Which obviously it is. So I don't know. I'll try it just to say I tried it, but I don't know if it's going to be good. I forgot to write who wrote this, but somebody wrote, "Oh dear God, no." Maybe if it was Tampico. I don't know. It could be good. It could be. Michael on Twitter wrote, on today's episode of Fixing Things That Don't Need to Be Fixed, what was he talking about? Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup has a plant-based oat chocolate confection with peanut butter. What was it made of before that made it not plant-based? Was it made of meat? Oh my God, Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups are actually made with meat. Breaking news. Hold on, I got a breaking news bed. Hold on, where is it? God damn it.
It's breaking news!
Oh my God.
Breaking news!
This just in, according to vague reports, Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups are actually made with meat. So go ahead and go out and buy their new plant-based oat chocolate confection and peanut butter. Delicious. All right. Oh, I should turn down the volume on that fucker. Come on. Really? One thing I always remember, one of my old program directors at the radio station, a guy named Tim Spence, would always say to people, quit trying to reinvent the wheel. That's what that is. There's nothing wrong with the standard Reese's penis. There's nothing wrong with the Reese's peanut butter cup, okay? That's gross. The Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups are just fine. If anything, don't call it plant-based. Just call it something else. And then just quit. Quit trying to reinvent something. It's like all these people in Hollywood trying to reinvent and redo these movies. And it's just like, quit, stop, come up with something new. You came up with something new in regards to this, but then you're just putting it under the same name, the same umbrella as it was as the old thing, the thing that everybody recognizes. Why don't you just call it something else? You have a bunch of people on your staff. I'm sure you could come up with a creative fucking name and just change it up from a peanut butter cup to something different, like a ball. Who doesn't want to put oat chocolate confection peanut butter balls in their mouth, right? Come on. Actually, that would probably taste good. My wife makes these amazing oatmeal chocolate peanut butter-ish non-baked cookies. And she needs to make those again because they're fucking delicious. It kind of reminds me of the same thing as this. And it's like, quit trying to redo it. And it does piss me off when I see these new movies coming about. Like, oh, they're coming out with another, like, Little Mermaid. That's coming out again. Jesus Christ, they've done that, at least once. They've had sequels. They've had, like, a TV show, and they're like, let's do it again. But this time, live action. Then all the racist people are mad because she's African American. Oh, no, you can't do that. Ariel's white. Listen, if this was anything, if anything you should be concerned about is the fact that Little Mermaid looks hot. That's what should bother you. Because if there really was a human fish hybrid living in the water, they wouldn't be hot. Most likely they'd be scary as fuck. And they'd probably have weird teeth. They either have sharp teeth to eat their prey or baleen. Do you want to make out with somebody that has really sharp teeth or baleen in their mouth? Baleen might actually be kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? Down below. Oh, ahoy there. I'm just saying, circling back, that would be creepy. But also, quit trying to reinvent the wheel. You have the wheel's fine. Invent something else. Come up with a new idea. It's freaking ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, I don't want to talk about this. I need to come up with an open. I'm not going to make one today like I did the other day, but I don't want to talk about it, okay? James Graham from East Sussex got kicked out of a McDonald's. Why? He didn't even really have time to get comfortable in his seat. They told him, no shoes, no shirt, no service. He was all pissed off and went on social media. And now, I will say this real quick. As much as I don't want to talk about this, he did make a good point, and he's saying, you guys kicked me out for walking in my bare feet when you have a whole play area, which is often full of kids running around in their bare feet, which those kids end up running around all over the place in their bare feet. So I get his understanding or his side of it in regards to that. But let's be honest, dude. Everybody knows no shirt, no shoes, no service. So don't try to make a big fuss about it. I get it. Just if you want to go in, you fucking put some flip-flops on or some shit like that. God. A woman found her husband's body in her home months after he vanished. Okay. Here's the thing, real quick. How do you not notice the smell? So I call bullshit on that. Or she just is such a lazy fucking bitch that she's just like, I don't know what that smell is, and I hate my husband's guts. Hopefully he died somewhere. I imagine they fucking hated each other's guts. She either killed him or she hoped that he died and just did not give a fuck. Either way, she's in a lot of trouble. Right? How do you not fucking notice the stench? Of all things, just the stench. It was like in a closet or like an armoire or something like that. Like he fell somewhere. I don't know. Probably not an armoire. It's something crazy, and she should have known that he died. So, yeah, we won't be surprised when it comes to find out that she killed him. She's going to be on Dateline, and then that white-haired guy's going to be like, things seem pretty normal. But after her husband went missing after 23 years of marriage, she didn't do anything. Come to find out, she stuffed him in the closet. And now she's on Dateline, wanted for murder. That guy's creepy. A guy that won the $2.04 billion. He won $2 billion Powerball. I don't know why I said 2.0. 2.0 Powerball. He bought a $25.5 million Hollywood mansion. Here's the thing. The majority of people out there that win the lottery go bankrupt because they don't know how to spend their money. This is a good example. Now, that being said, he's a billionaire, and that's just like a small little dent. But if you're going to spend that kind of money in a location like that, I guarantee you this motherfucker's going to be broke in like 3 years. Because that's not necessary. If anything, don't be in Hollywood. What a fucking joke. If anything, you go somewhere in like Montana or something like that, Colorado mountains. That'd be a great idea. Spend some money up there, have a place, and then you get a vacation home, okay? And just don't. This guy's he's going to be bankrupt in 3 years, begging for money, sucking dick on the side of the corner just so he can get a Big Mac at McDonald's, okay? I'm just saying, I've seen it a million times, guys. Oh shit! I just hit my daughter's unicorn globe. And the last thing I don't want to talk about. Will Smith said he's embarrassed and hurt by Chris Rock's jokes about him. Shut the fuck up, Will Smith. Okay? You are the cunt bag that bitch slapped Chris Rock in front of the entire world a year ago. And then Chris Rock comes out and says, listen, I was a fan of yours. Everybody else was calling you a bitch because Jada was admitting to sucking so much cock out there that wasn't yours. You took it out on the one guy that wasn't calling you a bitch. And you walked up to me and slapped me across the face. Who's the bitch, man? Will Smith, you're a bitch. Come on. You fucked up. You had misplaced anger. And you took it out on Chris Rock. Move on. Fuck off, Will Smith. Jesus. Anyway, hopefully you guys had a great day today. Hopefully you continue to have a great day, and hopefully you smiled during this episode. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Be safe this weekend. As I record this, they're doing a lot of, St. Patrick's Day celebrations, especially around the state of Colorado. So be careful out there. Don't drink too much, but do enjoy yourself responsibly, please. Thanks so much to Superbook Sports Colorado, as well as Blake Street Tavern. They're at 23rd and Blake in downtown Denver. Thank you guys so much for listening. I truly appreciate it. Look for me in the new Deadpool 3 movie that, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I swear to God, it's not. Listen, Ryan, Hugh, you need a Wolverine variant that is a podcaster and doesn't actually use his superpowers for anything that benefits society. Instead, he's just sitting there in front of a microphone, using his claws to move his microphone, adjust the faders, type his rundown, and eat his sandwiches. Right? Come on. I told you I work for food and gin. Oh. Anyway, make it happen, Ryan and Hugh. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.